paranormal reading, so it might not resonate with you. But if you would like a personal reading, please check the description box below. Let's get on into it. The first pile we have is Skull. Sugar Skull, Sugar Baby. She's pink, she's from Mexico. Very colorful. Next we have the Selenite. It kind of has a cross in it. Very powerful, very strong. Then we have this Geode. It looks like a rock on the back, but then it has this beautiful inner world. So let's get on to it. Number 1. I would also like to, I guess I did that for a reason. Okay. I would also like to add that, of course, if your sun, moon, or rising, Venus, Jupiter, whatever you want to use comes up, then use that. But for these karmic readings, I'm kind of treating them, I'm looking at them through the lens of our north and south nodes. So you might want to look at your natal chart to see where you are with that. If you don't know how to do that, I can certainly help you with that. Let's get into it. For number 1, we have change. So you are going through a period of change and transformation. You are a sweet, kind-hearted person. You are really sensitive, so you can kind of withdraw and be really shy around others because you feel what they're feeling, and sometimes it's hard to distinguish what is your feeling and what is someone else's feeling, and so you distance yourself to like sort of reclaim what's yours and what's not. I get the sense that yes, you do retreat to reclaim what's yours and what's not, but I am also getting the sense that you don't speak up enough about these feelings, you don't speak up enough about these sensitivities, and it could be something small like an electricity sound that's buzzing and bothering you. But it culminates and culminates and culminates until you explode around others. So your approach has been to retreat and go within yourself to sort everything out before you lash out at others. So what triggers this point in your karmic destiny? What kicks it off? What gets it going? What's the cause? We have the King of Pumpkins. So you could be wanting a more stable life, a more committed life, a more peaceful, restful, like I know what to expect. I know what is expected of me, and I live up to that expectation. I have clear expectations, and those around me live up to my expectations. So this is about no sort of wishy-washy lifestyle, but you could have also come into a state of money. You could have got a promotion recently. You could have committed to your security in a new way. We have the 6 of Ghosts and the 2 of Pumpkins. So perhaps you came from a family where you had to, like whenever you were a kid, your mom struggled to make ends meet, or your dad, either way. Parents struggled to make ends meet, and you have a lot of fond memories as a kid. A lot of sweet childhood memories, but they didn't prepare you for the world you live in today. Your parents always having to juggle, always having to be late on bills, always being uncertain about money. You are realizing now that perhaps you could have had a better childhood had they been a little more stable. And so perhaps this point in your karmic cycle is course correcting how to manage finances more. With the King of Pentacles, you know, I felt like you might have got a lot of money recently, like a windfall, a cash flow, a lottery earning or something recently. And this change, this money, the center of what your karma is, this is about not wasting it like your parents would have, because a lot of karma is ancestral karma, right? So we have to break the ties of what has been going on generations after generations in our family, and it's up to us to sort of cut those cords, right? So I think you are in a space where you want to be more in control of your finances and make your money work for you instead of having to work for money. Whew, okay. So, what you're learning throughout this experience, we have the Sun reversed, we have Justice reversed, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. So, I think what you are learning is self-worth. You might have stayed in situations where you had to dim your light or where things were unjust. You may have been in financial situations that they did not recognize you, and the company culture was unfair. For some of you, you are learning to be more independent, self-sufficient, possibly self-employed, working on your own to stand in your own personal value instead of having it dictated by bad actors who, I'm seeing like a dangling carrot, right? They kind of like keep you in a state of, you have to stay here because of this little dangling carrot, right? Like, you may get a promotion in 3 months, right? You may get this, you may get this. If you work hard enough, But it's like, because this sun is reversed, they're never going to realize how hard you work. And so, rather than seeking outside validation from this job, from this career, from your coworkers, you sort of have to take matters into your own hands. If this is talking more about money instead of like jobs and career, then I think this is looking at money in a different way. For instance, investing in easy and quick returns, but like making your money work for you, like I said. So investing in returns that you know are going to pay off and give you a sense of financial freedom and financial like autonomy. Like I'm hearing for some of you, maybe you're in a marriage where there's some financial manipulation, you know, where maybe your partner makes more and so they kind of hold it over your head. So you may be learning this lesson as you are, some of you may be going through a divorce and learning this lesson and learning how to depend on yourself financially without that partner. The worst it's going to get is the Knight of Ghosts reversed, the Ace of Wands reversed, and the Hermit. So the worst it's going to get is there's not going to be any action in your love life. And you are going to have to retreat and sort of, like I'm getting a sense like pull back on fun. So the worst this experience is going to get is, but I'm hearing like dating just to date. So just to like pass the time, right? Just because you're bored. I feel like the worst it's going to get is you'll run into these counterfeit Casanovas who are kind of only looking for one night stands, and time can be better spent at home farting around doing weird little self things you like to do, you know what I mean? Trying new recipes or making a craft just to like keep your hands busy and keep you occupied and like happy and just to your own devices, like playing with yourself, right? Like being happy with yourself. But that's going to require like some restraint on any sort of romance in your life, but cultivating this inner world for yourself and taking the time to invest in hobbies just for you is going to give you that sort of self-sufficiency. It's going to give you that sort of independence that I was talking about with this self-employment. And it might be working on your craft, honing your craft so that you can move in a state of self-employment. So because you came from a family that struggled, the effect was always a sense of being out of control, always having to ask for help and getting help usually. But the help that you get now, because you saw how frivolous your parents might have been, any help that you get now, you know that it's an investment, you know that it's that it's something to value, so you appreciate it more than your parents might have. And I'm also getting this image of some of you about a car breaking down when you were a kid, something your parents could have prevented, and it really put you guys, I'm seeing like winter time, like maybe your car broke down in the snow and your brothers and sisters almost froze or something. Wow, I'm getting a really strong image. Sorry if that happened to any of you. But because of those bad memories, now you are stepping into a place of anything you earn, you're going to double that, or you know what I mean, or like X and a half that. Yeah. So your test is to learn more about financial systems, like take courses online, YouTube videos, helpful tutorials and stuff like that on how to get your credit better, how to invest in certain stocks if you want to go the CD route, if you want to do IRAs, how to maximize your 401ks. So I feel like to really hit the rubber, to really achieve this karmic lesson, you're going to have to get some financial training, get some financial education, some financial knowledge that's going to give you the edge in the financial market. We have the Page of Imps reverse, and we have the 10 of Ghosts. So, like I said, with this Page of Imps and then the bottom of the barrel, there's going to be a tightness, a squeeze of fun. So you might not be able to have as much fun as you would like. You might be wanting to go out with your friends more. You may be wanting to go out on the dating scene more. You may want to wine and dine people. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. Dating takes money. If you're a man, obviously paying for the meal is usually the standard, right? But women pay for dates too. We have to wax our legs. We have to get our hair blown out. We have to do our nails and do all this stuff. There's a lot of work that goes into it, buying the right outfit, all that stuff. All to look good for you, right? But you're going to have to make some sacrifices to gain some financial abundance. And that requires skipping out on some fun to build up your value and your worth. And then you're going to get to that 10 of Cups. We have the 10 of Ghosts here with that Page of Pentacles. So the more you learn about how to secure a long-term financial success, then the more confident you're going to feel to support a family who's going to bring you all those happy memories, right? I'm feeling for some of you, home insurance is going to be really important. Let me see. Any north-south nodes that are possible. We have Cancer, Virgo, Libra, Leo. It's Cancer, Virgo, Libra, Leo. It does not have to be those, but you could be, you could have one of those north or south nodes, or any other placement. But let me know if that resonates, and I will see you later. If you would like a personal reading, please check the description box below, and I love you very much. Bye. And give it a quick little shuffle for our number 2s. Whoops. Number 2s, clear message. Thank you, Spirit. This reminds with the moment when my body gets got big and ready for it. Okay, so your central theme for number 2s is forgiveness, reducing burdens. We have a white rose in a hand. You are almost at the end of your rope. You don't see light at the end of the tunnel. You can feel it intuitively, but you cannot see it in your material world, but you feel like you're almost at an end. What sets this into motion? I feel like you have been ostracized from the community as a result of perhaps New Age, occult, spiritual practices. Perhaps you come from a fundamentalist religion and they don't agree with your lifestyle choices, tarot cards, astrology, or anything like that. If it's not like that, it can simply mean being in a blue state, but you are a red state person, right? So just feeling like your beliefs are outside of everyone else's expectations, and your gifts are kind of being thwarted because they can't see your abilities, because that's just not the market for your abilities, right? So you're sort of an outsider in this situation. What you are learning is the Queen of Pentacles reversed, the King of Imps, and the Two of Imps. What you are learning is not to lose your temper, not to take it personally when they don't see your worth, when they don't value you. You're learning that you are a leader, you are one of a kind, you are not like the people here, and you are a rocket ship beyond these people, and so you are learning to tame your inner demons and not lash out at others, or not take their criticism so personally, and sort of like tame your inner beast, recognizing that it's more their problem than yours. The worst it's going to get, the bottom of the barrel, we have the Queen of Bats reversed, we have the Ten of Ghosts reversed, and we have Death reversed. The worst it's going to get, I feel like there is a mother, might be a mother who passes away in the family, and that's going to cause a lot of sadness for your family. And whenever you go through the 5 stages of grief, your family might take out their anger on each other, And so forgiveness is going to be required as they go through that process, not to take it so personally, because they're just going through this death process, and it's hard for them to be receptive to the changes in the family dynamic. And it is, the worst it's going to get is that the family dynamic has changed now that this matriarch has passed on, now that this matriarch is no longer with us, and there might be a rebuilding of other relationships that are required. Like perhaps a lot of you used this matriarch as a crutch to solve all the problems within your family dynamic, but she had to leave everyone's life so that you guys can sort it out amongst yourselves, because her interventions in you guys' dramas weren't working, weren't doing anything. It was kind of like enabling everyone's ego in the situation. For others of you, this isn't a matriarch who is dying, but it is a like someone on life support, someone who there is a decision in the family where they need to be cut off, they need to be put out of their misery, but someone is hanging on. For others of you, a matriarch might be dealing with the father leaving, because the Queen of Swords is a widow card, so, and we do have death here. So it could be that your mom hasn't died, but like a father has died, and so I'm hearing, if that's the case for some of you, if the father died, then the way that the mother is dealing with grief is dealing with her anger in the grief process, is to be like toe the extra hard line in religion. So it could be a little like really fundamentalist, really scary, really like judgmental and psychopathic. I don't mean to laugh because I get it, I know. But she's doing that because there is so much uncertainty surrounding the death of the person she loved, her life partner, that she needs some sort of clear-cut ideology to help her go through this process. And so again, your challenge is not to take it personally as she is dealing with these challenges of grief. So because you've been ostracized, because you've been kicked out of this community, or like felt a sense of being the black sheep, what is the effect? The effect is you get to start a new life. So there is an opportunity to go in a new direction for you. There is still a small amount of uncertainty with this Three of Wands here. Perhaps you got an inheritance from the deal, and so that from like, I don't want to say the deal, an inheritance from the will, if this has to do with death. Perhaps you got an inheritance, and it's a matter of, what am I going to spend it on? Am I going to, buy a house, pay off my debts? How am I going to invest it? So I don't see you receiving this now, but you know that it's coming. So, excuse me, you're just sort of toying with what you're going to do, but it is a new beginning and more possibilities for you. But there is some sadness because we do have the Ace of Cups reversed, so that's my crying card, right? So it's like you do have all this money for all this opportunity, but there is some sadness attached about how you got it, right? What is on your test out live? We have the 10 of Bats, the 8 of Ghosts, 2 cards here. We have the 3 of Bats and Justice reversed. Your biggest test is going to be dealing with legal challenges in the midst of heartbreak. and being able to walk away from the hardships that have taken place. The hardships are going to act as lessons to only make you like 100 times better person. This could also talk about divorce because we do have justice reversed and then this death reversed, and the Queen of Swords is also a divorcee card too. So if it's not a death in the family, this is also changing the family dynamic through a divorce. And I believe that divorce is a karmic thing that we go through that's not often recognized, because oftentimes whenever people get divorced, they think it's a failed relationship, right? But, you know, Andy Richter and his wife recently got divorced, and I just thought they were such a cute couple, and so I was a little sad about it. But they put out this, his wife, Sarah Thayer, she put out this tweet that said something like, we had a successful 27 years together, but now, you know, we've changed and moved on. And so I feel like what divorce is breaking karmic ties, breaking ancestral ties, so you can move on to a better state than what your parents went through, so that you can, like, it may be painful to sort of prune that family tree, but once you do, then you are going to give your children and their children and their children's children and their children's children's children the gift of not having to go through what you went through or what your mom, your grandma, your great-grandma went through. But again, this could be death, this could be divorce, this could be anything, but I do see a change in the family. As far as I told, I told pile 1 that, of course, look at your sun, moon, and rising, but I'm also seeing this through the lens of north and south nodes. So let's see the prominent signs for if your north and south node are in these signs. Doesn't have to be, but it could be an extra boost for you. We have Leo, Pisces, Aries twice. We have Scorpio and Libra. So if that means anything to you, then yay, and if it doesn't, then I hope you got something from this reading anyway. But I love you very much. I think this experience is going to it's going to build your intuition so that you know that the pain others cause doesn't have to do with you. It has to do more with them, and that's what this experience is teaching you. This experience is also teaching you how to deal with changes in family dynamics and how to deal with them in an internal way, in sort of a feeling them through in a more spiritual way than what's going on the surface. Thank you, number 2s. I love you very much. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below, and I will see you next time. Bye. One more time.
Number 3's numero tres. Buenos dias.
Okay, you have the skull of light as your central theme. I like it. Where do we start? We have the Knight of Imps, the Five of Bats, and the Knight of Ghosts. So the group I am connecting with today, if it doesn't resonate with you, then another reading might resonate with you better. But the group I am connecting with today has a little bit of a player energy to them. They rush in, and it's not that they are necessarily insincere. It's just they feel so passionate and so emotional in the moment that they do kind of have this like love at first sight vibe to them. They do have this like just intense emotion. Like when they're attracted to someone, they're really attracted to someone. When they're in love with someone, they're really in love with someone. It's not always lasting because we do have the Five of Swords or the Five of Bats here. So it causes a lot of conflict because although their feelings are really intense, then that doesn't mean that that's lasting. So they might move on to the next person who gives them that more euphoric sense of love, who gives them that more like adrenaline rush. So they're kind of addicted to love in that sense. They're addicted to the rush of it, to the game of it, to the fireworks, the bells, the whistles, the even like notching the bedposts and all of that, right? They have a lot of like life and a lot of love to give, and sometimes it's hard for you to contain it into one person. If I'm not talking about you, then this could be you attracting these type of people into your life. But for the sake of this reading, I'm just going to say that I'm dealing with someone who is a little impulsive when it comes to love and romance, and it causes a lot of conflict because you may have wooed someone and they may have thought this is forever, and then 2 weeks later you're off to another person and that original person's feelings are hurt, right? And then it's just a pattern that keeps going and going and going. So let's see what enacted your karma, what set it all into motion. We have the Page of Ghosts, we have the Queen of Bats reversed, and we have the High Priestess. So there may have been someone who rejected you in the past, although I'm kind of feeling like they didn't actually reject you, you just kind of misread something they may have said. Like maybe they were trying to be secretive or mysterious, but you took it as rejection, or you took it as something it wasn't. But you did take it as a rejection, and as a result, you kept your feelings locked to your chest. You kept your feelings, kept a tight lip, right? Kept your lips sealed, kept your lips zipped about expressing your love to anyone because someone might have crushed your heart. And I'm getting this is like a separate person than what I was talking about originally, but someone might have crushed your heart, so that created this sense of rejection, and then you just started like being afraid of that in everyone you met, even though like they might have not been that way. Like I'm getting the sense that someone might have crushed your heart. It took you a long time to get over, and then you might have met another person who was independent and kind of sassy and witty, and that person might have really loved you, but you were so scared of the original rejection that you misread another rejection. Am I making sense? So as a result of that, it was like, well, I'm just going to play around the field and get mine and, have a free-for-all for me if it's so uncertain about if someone's going to break my heart or not. You never know if you're going to get your heart broken. So this like player energy, this falling in love easily, it's a pattern that you're safe with, but it prevents you from having real intimacy because you never stick around long enough to invest in that emotional intimacy with someone over the long haul. Like you're too concerned about or too distracted by the new, right? That you miss out on love you actually really want. But it's just a way to protect your heart, is to always keep going after the new. The lessons you are learning. We have the Ten of Pentacles. I was just talking about long-term values. Two of Ghosts, yeah? And Death. So what you're learning is that your ideas about partnerships are changing. Your ideas about how love should be, how your life partner should be are changing. Your values in love are changing. So your values for your life are changing. And I think you are learning about connections from the past that perhaps you didn't nurture, perhaps you didn't invest in, and as a result, you can't get to that Ten of Pentacles long haul goal, right? We have a watering can on this Death card, and Death is reversed, and it's like watering these Two of Cups, these Two of Ghosts, nurturing that relationship, investing in that relationship. It's like you weren't willing to stick with that transformation for the long haul, but you never got to see like the full tree bloom, right? It's like not giving connections a chance because of this self-preservation, right? So the worst it's going to get is the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, how awful. The Wheel of Fortune just is Six of Pentacles and yeah, that's the worst it's going to get. Horrible. I'm just kidding. So the worst it's going to get is there's going to be some luck that has turned around. A balancing out, a sense of fairness. So if I am talking to the people who this is happening to them and they aren't this player person, they just keep attracting these people, then there's going to be a change in the wind where you finally get equal reciprocity in your relationship, where you finally get equal give and take, equal back and forth, equal emotional exchange. So it's like you were probably, if you have a history of having like bad luck in love, I feel like it was to tie up karma from past lives, but it's not necessarily like the path you are about to undertake now. Like you are closing up a path of unequal partnerships, of unrequited love. Let's keep it moving. So you misread a rejection, and as a result, we have the King of Bats, the Ten of Bats, and the Empress reversed. So whenever, it's so funny, this is so funny. Whenever you misread a rejection from someone else, that other person read it as you rejecting them. So it was like both of you rejecting each other, right? It's like both of you mirroring each other. This could be a twin flame reading. But it knocked off their self-confidence. It knocked off their sense of attractiveness, and it made them a tougher person. It made them set healthier boundaries for themselves. It perhaps made them more stern in what they would tolerate and what they wouldn't tolerate. And it, I feel like for them, it's like, I keep wanting to, I'm sorry, I'm cussing. I keep wanting to say, are you fucking kidding me, right? It's like they thought they did everything right in the situation, and it just sort of fizzled, and so it's like, it's like both of you guys deserve better karma than what you've had in the past. Like, this person has probably had a long road of heartbreak too, and your actions contributed to their long list of heartbreak, right? So it's like with this King of Swords, it's like they're putting on a self-preservation mask in a different way of just being like cold ass, hard ass, titty, tough titty character, right? But it's like you're putting on this mask of hoppin', swinging bachelor, but unable to connect with anyone and unable to grow the long-term success that you want. Okay? So you are learning how to be transparent in your partnerships. You are learning how to, you are learning that you can run away from connections, you can not nurture connections, but the roots are still there and the connection is still there, and you can't really like lie to yourself about that. So we do have this skull of illumination, right? This is like you are illuminated to this connection, to this fact. And there might be some sort of hopelessness involved, but it's only a result of the past. But this is a cycle that's wrapping up. The cycle of you being a fuckboy, sorry for the language again, even if you're a girl, this type of energy, right? Of sort of being really amazing and out of this world, but not capable, and then sort of leaving others to deal with the conflict. That is wrapping up because you are recognizing a connection that you might have left behind, and that it's like too strong to break. North and South node placements could include Gemini, Aquarius, Pisces, Scorpio, Libra, Taurus. Let me know if that resonated. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below. This karmic wheel reading is part of my, is one of my personal readings, so check that out. I love you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!